Okay, let me make a video on this. I couldn't find my pen. I finally found it. So let's see. Where are we? Let me make this bigger. Let me get the pen ready. Here we go. First question. Movie theater. So I'm gonna run out of room. So I'm just gonna do it here. The movie theater has 250 seats. So let's set it up. So it's a percent proportion, right? We're gonna find out something out of 100. So we're going to write a ratio that's equivalent to a ratio out of 100. The movie theater has 250 seats, so that's my total, right? I know that. 200 seats were sold for the current showing, so they sold 210 seats out of 250. Let's find that. So if 250 seats, and we want to know the number of seats that were empty. Well, there were 250 seats available. 210 were sold, so how many seats were empty? 40 seats. That's what I want to find. So with this question, you could have done this. Or you could have found 210 and then subtracted at the end. Either way, you either subtract now or later. So let's subtract now. And I want to know what percent of seats were empty. Well, there were 40 seats, so that's 5%. So here's my question mark. Is there a relationship? Can you find a relationship back and forth? So one thing I can do, yes, you can use decimals, or remember this, I can cut a 0 here, and I cut a 0 here. So let me rewrite that. I get 4 out of 25 equals 100 times 4 times 4, and I get 16. So what percent of the seats were empty? 16%. So that's question 1. Question 2. Actually, I'm going to do the odd ones. Survey 800 people was done in the New York Times. 45% of people did not know the name of the representative in Congress. Neither do I. How many of the 800 people knew the name? So you have to read the question. So again, 45% did not know. So there's 100%, right? 45% of the people did not know, which means what? 55% did know, right? 55% did actually know the name of the congressman. So I did this in the beginning to help me out. So how many people knew the name of the congressman? So well, there were 800 people. 45% did not know, which means 55% did know, and that's the percent I'm going to write here. This percent, 55% of 800 knew the name of the congressman. Is there a relationship? Yes, there is. Times 8. Times 8. So 55 times 8. 0, 40, 450. So how many people knew the name of the congressman? 440. So that's 3. 5. Ms. Holman gave a 90 cents tip to wait for service. What percent of the bill was her tip? So again, it's 100%, right? And how much was her meal? Her meal was $6. So all right, $6. Now it's $6. So she probably had, I don't know, a bagel and a cup of coffee, right? Probably bacon, egg, and cheese and a cup of coffee. Came out $6. And she gave a tip based on that. So her tip was, and you're not gonna write 90, you're gonna write 90 cents, 0.9. That's how much her tip was. So what's 90%? What's 90 cents? That's a percent out of 6. So is there a relationship here? Oh my God, is there? No, there isn't. Yes, there is. What you could have done is divide top and bottom by 3. 90 cents divided by 3 gives you 30 cents. 6 divided by 3 gives you 2. And now you can find the relationship. It's times 50. You're going to have to multiply 30 cents times 50. You get 0, 5 and 0 is 0 again, 15. There's 1 to 2 decimal places. So that becomes 15 or 15%. Where are we? 7. No freeze empty mix. No freeze. And mixture contains 3% alcohol. How much alcohol is there in 15 quarts of non-freeze? Okay. So if you have 15 quarts, right? You have 15 quarts of that mixture. 30% of it is made up of alcohol. So out of the 15 quarts, what's 30%? Let's find it's equivalent, out of 15. So find the relationship here. Is there one? What if you did 3 over 10? Let's say, well, it's going to be a decimal relation, but it's okay. Why not? So what I'm going to do is cut a 0 from the top, 0 from the bottom, and make this 3 over 10. After that 10 turn into 15 times 1.5, and therefore I'm going to multiply this times 1.5, right? And 3 times 1.5 is 4.5. So out of the 15 quarts, 4.5 quarts is made out of alcohol. Okay. 9, 15% tip for the server. Service is acceptable. If this is the case, how much would you tip? Okay. If your total is 64, well, 100. In this case, 15 goes over here. The total bill was $64. So if you had a bill of $64, how much tip would you give your waiter? So it'd be calculated based on 64. So you would pay $64 for a meal plus 15% of that. So let's find out what 15% of 64 is. What can we do here? I can divide by 5. So again, more room. So divide by 5, it's going to be 3. Divide by 5, it's going to be 20. So 3 20s, now this side is 64, right? there is going to be a decimal relationship over here to 64. So 20 times something is 64. It would be 3.2. Just to verify that. 0, 4, 6, 1 decimal place. It is 64. So 20 times 3.2 is 64. And I'm going to multiply times 3.2 over here. And that's going to give me 9.6. So if you had a meal that cost you 64%, you would calculate what 15% of 64 is, which is 9.6. And you would add to your total. So now, besides paying the food for $64, you give her a tip based on what you ate, and the total would have been $73.60. But I think we're interested only in the tip. So the tip would be $9.60. 11. 300 insurance claims every month. 55% of those claims are rejected. How many are rejected? How many are accepted? Okay. And now, one of the problems with these questions is that they're not really related too much to you guys. How many 11-year-old people file insurance claims? So, anyways, this doctor files 320 insurance claims. So he has to get paid. People come to see the doctor, and they give him an insurance number, and he, in turn, fills his paperwork to the insurance so he can collect money for his service. So, in this particular month, he did 320 insurance claims. Okay, he sent that. So he saw, I guess, one claim for each patient. And then 5% of those claims were rejected. Sometimes the insurance company won't pay for the service the doctor provided, and you end up paying for it. So, out of 350, out of 320, 5% got rejected. The insurance said, no, we're not going to pay for them. So what's 5% of 320? That's the question right here. We can simplify this. Divide by 5 is 1. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. So I'm going to use this ratio. I simplify 5 over 100 to 1 over 20. Is there a relationship now? Times 16, right? So on top it would be times 16. So out of 320, 16 insurance claims that he filed were unfortunately rejected, and the patient will probably end up paying those doctor fees. So if 16 got rejected, how many were accepted? Well, there were a total of 320. 16 got rejected, which means 304 got accepted. Okay. 13, the produce department sold 288 pounds of tomatoes. Here's 100%, which represented 72% of the shipment. So 288 pounds of tomatoes were not all the tomatoes that they sold, were part of it, because that represented only 72% of the shipment they received. Okay, so the rest were spoiled and discarded. So 72% goes here, and 288 is part, not the total. Okay, it's part of the shipment. So 70% represents the 288. So we want to know how many they actually received. Well, let's find out how much they actually received to then figure out how much. Nothing. Yeah, we can find out how many were actually sold. No, 288 was sold and the rest was discarded, right? So we can find out how many were thrown away. Okay, so they sold 288 pounds of tomatoes out of a total that I don't know yet. Okay, so let's find out how many tomatoes they received first. So, but that represents 72% of the total. Is the relationship 72 times 4? Yeah. 72 times 4 is 8, 88. Okay, so it's a times, to go here is times 4. So over here, it's going to be times 4. And 100 times 4 is 400. So, how many pounds of tomatoes were originally received? They received originally 400 pounds of tomatoes, of which 288 were sold. And if you wanted to find out how many were spoiled, you would subtract those two, and you would get 219. 112 tomatoes were spoiled and discarded. 15. Donovan earned 99 points on his science project. Not bad. If the grade was 90%, how many points were possible? Well, he got 99 points, so we know. And he got 90%. Okay, so he says here he earned 9 points, and that translated to a grade of 90%. So what was it out of? How many total points were available? Was it out of 100, 110? What was it out of? So that's what we're trying to figure out. What was the test or project out of? Let's simplify, because there's no relationship so far. So I'm going to cut a 0 here. I'm going to cut 0. So this becomes 9 over 10. Now, define relationship. Yeah, times 11. And we can go here, times 11. And 10 times 11 is 110. And that's our answer. So the project itself has 110 points, which he earned 99, and that translated to 90%. 17. The volleyball game served the ball over the net 14 out of 22 times. What percent did not make it over the net? Well, she served 22 times. 14 of them went over the net, which means, actually, nowadays, if you touch the net and go to the other side, it's okay. But in the old days, you weren't allowed to touch the net. So she tried. So she served 22 times. 14 went over the net, which were good serves, which means how many were bad? Well, if you subtract and find the difference, these ones were the bad serves, right? Where's she? These ones were the bad serves. So, what percent did not make it over the net? So, let's find out how many did not make it over the net. I know that 8 of them did not make it over the net just by subtracting, right? Because 22 were done. She tried 22, 14 made the net, made it over. It means that the difference 8 were bad serves or did not go over the net. So, I'm going to use that number. 100. She served 22 times, right? So the total 22. 8 of them were not great, an out or touch net or something. So all the other bad serves. And let's see what her percentage was of not making over the net. Relationship, none. Let's see if I divide this by. If I divide this by 2, I get 4 over 11, right? If I divide this by 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 20 divided by 2, I see 11. Is a relationship? Like no. So let's not do that. Let's time this by 100. 22 times 100 is going to be 2,000 200. And if I multiply 8 times 100, it gives me 800. So I'm no longer using this. I'm going to use this. Is there a relationship going this way? Yes, there is. And 2200 to become 100 is divide by 22. So I'm going to divide the top by 22. This one you got a decimal. And let's just divide 800. So there's no choice here. We have to divide 800 divided by 22. That'll be 3, 66. 12 left over. Bring the 0 down. It's going to be 5. About 10 goes 111. 10 left over. Let's add a decimal. Add a 0. A decimal over here. Bring that down. It's going to be 4, which is 88. And you're going to have 2 left over. So 1. Let's add another 0 down. And that's going to be 6, right? No, 5, 4. I forgot. 5. So let's just end it there. 2 decimal places. 35.45% of her serves were bad. Okay, did not make it overnight. Okay, so hopefully this helped. Okay, let me know.